loves to play with fire, and the things he'll do, you can too, if you so desire. To try this at home with Mr. G.
Hello and welcome back to Do Try This at Home. Do Try This at Home is the show that takes ordinary household items and turns them into something extraordinary. I'm your host, Mr. G, and today on Do Try This at Home, we're going to be playing around with lens law. We're going to be using a very powerful neodymium magnet that you can get online. You can buy these from about any magnetic shop that sells neodymium magnets. You'll find several online. Just do a search for neodymium magnet. Now, we also need a screw. This is a magnetic screw, and you can see that the magnet easily picks it up. So we know this is truly a magnet. Now, we also need something that is made of aluminum. Lens law says that if you take a conductor that is not magnetic and you place a strong magnetic field into its presence or pass it by this conductive non-magnetic material such as aluminum or copper, that it will induce a magnetic field in opposition, or basically an electrical current in opposition to the magnetic field. Now, we're going to show first how it can actually induce an electrical current in copper. I'm going to take my trusty volt-amp meter and I'm going to set it to milliamps, and you can see that the display on that reads 0. I hope you can read that okay, and it reads 0. Now if I take my magnet and I move it back and forth along that coil without even touching it, you'll see that those numbers actually increase or move. We're generating electricity by placing this magnet, the magnetic field, by moving it back and forth past this non-magnetic, not magnetic, drops to the table, copper coil. So again, we have no current, and now we have current. Pretty amazing in itself, but that's not all we're going to do. I'm going to take these aluminum spacers, which I bought at my local hardware store. They're just what's called a ferrule stop set. They're for making an end on a cable or tying two cables together. You can see that okay, I hope. And you can get that for about $1.50 at your local hardware store. Now, one of these pieces of aluminum, again, these are not magnetic. You can see that the magnet does not pick them up like it does the screw. They're not magnetic at all. Yet, we can influence them without touching them using this powerful neodymium magnet. Watch this. I'm not touching it at all, yet I can cause it to roll one way, stop, and roll the other way. You can really get some real force here. As you can see, the magnet is greatly affecting this non-magnetic piece of copper, or aluminum, excuse me. If it were copper, it would also work. Now watch this. These are sort of shaped like two cylinders smashed together. And watch what we can do with these. Well, that actually touched. I don't want it to touch. Look at that. Didn't even touch it. And I'm causing it to flip over. It's enough force that without even touching it, wow, our magnet can cause an opposing force in the aluminum. Now, I did touch it there, obviously. Two together doesn't work so good. Touched it again. Having trouble here staying far enough away from it, but you've got to be fairly close, but not that close. And you can cause it to jump and even roll over if you do it just right. And a quick movement past it, there you go, is really key. It's amazing. And you can feel the force. You can actually feel the braking power or the opposition. So if you hold this in your hand, you'll feel that force. It's like it makes it want to jump. Look at that, it's moving it. Almost like magic. Not touching it, but almost, it's like making it spin around. That's amazing to me. Amazing that totally non-magnetic material can be forced to move around in the presence of a powerful magnet. Again, look up Lens law online and you'll learn a lot more about this experiment. That is really something. I hope you give this a try at home, and I hope you visit www.mindlessmirth.com. Stick around for the outtakes, there's plenty of them. I'm Mr. G. Get yourself a neodymium magnet, some aluminum pieces, and do try this at home! And today on Do Try This at Home, we're going to be experimenting with heck, what are we going to be experimenting with? And here's what they are. They're basically, they're quarter-inch ferrule, whoops and whoops. What I've done here is I've placed some copper wire around, it has come disconnected. Hold on one second here. What is on this table? It's like, wax from before when I was doing the other experiment. Okay, let's start this over. But before we get started with our copper, not copper, it's aluminum. Aluminum. Whoa. I'm your host, Mr. G, and today on Do Try This at Home, I'm your chost. Chost? Where am I getting the CH sound today? I think I need more choffee. And let's knock the remote control on the floor as we reach for our choffee. Okay, let's start over.